Tales from the Tapes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Demo from NextEv here, and welcome back to Tales from the Tapes. Today, we have a very special to me, because I love this movie so much. Very special film, Psycho Goreman.
Yes.
I don't know how you build it up, you just gotta say the title.
Yes.
I am here today with Anthony and Mike from the Gruesome Gazette, as always.
Yo.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, so what are your thoughts on this movie? Just like off the bat before we like describe what it is.
So to sum it up, my best way to summing it up, it's Power Rangers. But if Power Rangers was more fucked up and gory.
Thank you. I was gonna say it's Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, it's literally the vibe, especially the amazing scene in the woods.
So the synopsis of this movie on IMDb says, after unearthing a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe, a young girl and her brother use it to make him do their bidding. That sounds way more ominous than this movie actually is.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the little girl and the brother are going to be like, we are going to get revenge on so-and-so and use this monster to kill people and blah, blah, blah. That's what the vague title or the vague synopsis of IMDb makes it sound like in your brain, because you're like, oh, this movie called Psycho Goreman. They find a monster. Of course, they're going to like Frankenstein it and make it do their bidding and kill people. None of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this movie. So... Oh, I mean, how other way would you start it? I mean, it literally is what it is. It's a giant alien monster who's buried beneath the ground. A little girl and her brother dig it up, find a gem, and taking the gem, the monster comes out.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, God, I don't know where to start with this.
So
the monster,
all I'm going to start with is the little gem that she is holding. Because she holds it, she can control him.
Yeah.
And so since she controls him, she makes him do his bidding, which... You know what? I don't even know where to start.
Oh,
It's
God,
just so,
okay.
It's so silly.
For people old enough to remember the show, I don't know who's watching age group wise and blah blah blah. I want you to think this is a very gory version of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Instead of beating the Grim Reaper at Limbo and making him their best friend where they do childish shit, it's instead of the Grim Reaper, it's an alien monster. They find the gem, and instead of any type of, there's no revenge, there's no this or that, like I've been wronged doing type of stuff. It's now we're gonna make the alien monster play dodgeball and hang out with us and meet our parents and do dumb shit that like a 9-year-old would like.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens that the monster ends up killing and torturing other people that aren't the kids, or
So
at least the main two kids.
So let's go into the monster, which essentially, like, it reminded me, like, of... Okay, let's go back to the Power Rangers reference. If Lord Zed was allowed to be more fucked up, this would basically be what this monster is.
And Lord Zed was a mage orc from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
It's just like this super tight bodysuit. Like it doesn't look like a Halloween costume or anything. Like it just straight up, they tried to make it just look like flesh. And the director of this movie, Steve Kostansky, he's actually a special effects artist. So that's where that really comes into play, is when he gets to do all of his practical effects. Before this, he did that one movie, The Void, where they're like in an abandoned hospital that's shutting down and then a cult's outside.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Dude, that movie that would be a good double feature with Malum, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, I didn't know he made The Void.
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
he did special effects for some other movies before that, but that was his first like directorial gig. So this was his second. And then he did Oh fuck! I don't know if it was before or after this, but he also did the newest Leprechaun movie.
Oh god.
Yeah, so the dude has got quite the creativity, and I'm really
This is
stoked for anything
Leprechaun
he does
Returns.
next.
Oh wait, yeah, that was the sequel to the original Leprechaun, the new the
Yeah.
Halloween reboot type of Leprechaun.
Yeah, the requel, and it takes place like 20 years after the first one, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's
They
like
give
about
us all the other
sororities.
sequels.
That's a fun movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking the Leprechaun before that, the really shitty one.
No, that's the WWE one. That one is dog shit.
Yeah, Leprechaun
don't-
Returns, I was
we don't
like, that
talk-
one's good.
Yeah, when you do a top list of all the Leprechaun movies, that one doesn't even make the list.
Yeah.
Like, you just leave it off.
Oh man, it's crazy that he did The Void. I did not know that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So then, like, the monsters from there and in here, like, it all just, like, you can see the connective tissue. Literally, I guess.
So all the monsters in this movie, because there's more than Psycho Goreman, every single monster is practical effects,
Yes.
straight up Power Ranger villain suit quality, except like Psycho Goreman is easily the best outfit out of them all because he's the most realistic one. The other monsters are like very hokey, like B-movie Power Rangers, but Psycho Goreman himself is so detailed that you're like, this is a big alien monster and I believe it, not a guy in a suit.
Exactly.
But like everybody else that is like a monster of some sort is like, you can very tell, you're like, yeah, this is like straight up Power Rangers TV quality, while Psycho Goreman is like, I'm Power Rangers movie quality. Like Psycho Goreman is Dr. Ooze or whatever his name was.
Ivan is.
Ivan Ooze.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like he was more like Lord Zed.
Oh yeah, he's more of Lord Zed like personality wise, but I mean like the makeup is so good
Yeah.
that it's like Ooze quality makeup,
Mhm.
but like but Zed personality.
Yeah. He definitely got the monologuing down.
Oh god. So when Psycho Goreman, which is not his name yet, when he wakes up, he goes wandering around the woods and he finds this like abandoned, because the kids are in bed at this point. And may I state that the kids in this movie, the brother and the sister, are like mainly the sister. The sister is really intense. The little girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I seen like, I'd go on Facebook and I seen somebody post about Psycho Goreman, and every single comment was, I hated this movie because that little girl was so annoying. She is one of the best parts for how intense she is. It's either you love her for how over the top she is and how horrible she is, or you hate her for the overacting. But I love the overacting because it comes with the hokiness of this movie.
No, seriously, because I fucking hated her. But she was really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, she was
I
so
mean-
good, I hated her.
Yeah,
You know,
she's
it's like
she's
the
good
it's
at
like
being...
that one, the female teacher from Harry Potter. From Umbridge, I think her name was, the one that like makes everything like illegal in the school. That's literally like, she's so good that I fucking wish she was dead.
It's just like, yeah, it's like, I don't like, as a character, she's the worst, and but she's so good at being the worst that you believably tell yourself, you're like, I hate this character because the acting is so good at being horrible. They're like, I legitimately, like, they write them as a dislikable character, and that's good writing when they're meant to be disliked and you do dislike them.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, this little girl is straight up like, she's a bully to her brother. She's a bully to her brother's friend while trying to seduce him. Not seduce in like a weird sexual way, but she's like, you're give me a spin, hunky boy, to her brother's friend, and the kid's like not taking the advances. He's like, I'm gonna go play video games.
Right.
Well, they're like fucking like what, 9, 12?
Yeah. And she just abuses everybody. She talks down to the parents. She talks down to everybody. At one point, she calls Psycho Goreman a dog.
She sometimes seems like more of a threat than Goreman does.
Yeah. She's the main villain of this movie outside the main villain.
Yeah.
Like, she's the secondary antagonist.
She is the one holding someone hostage the entire movie, so.
Right.
Which is crazy because you're like, oh, it's a giant galactic destroying universe, like hateful alien monster. But then you're just like, he can't do anything to this girl, and this little girl's like way worse than he is. But if he had the power, you know he'd be the worst, but he doesn't.
Yeah. It's like you just get to hang out with the creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and he just like follows you around and plays drums in your band and stuff.
Right.
Yes. Because this movie is the heckin' best.
Yeah, this movie's fantastic.
So yeah, Psycho Goreman, like I said, before he's called Psycho Goreman, he wanders into this like warehouse that's like abandoned and a bunch of like thugs and bums are hanging out. And it has no hesitation that to show you just gore and blood and torture and flesh, but in the most like ridiculous way possible. Like, Psycho Goreman comes in here, they're just like, oh, we're gonna whoop his ass, we're gonna kill you because you won't like leave or whatever, like you bothered us. And then he just disposes of them like the nothing they are, and he's like super powerful. The two guys, he just walks up to them, rips both their heads off, punches another guy, the leader I would say, into like a pole, like a pillar. And the leader gets up and he's like, oh man, I don't want to die. And Psycho Goreman, he's like, then you will live forever. And he encases him in like an immortal, like rotting flesh prison. Like, this is some Hellraiser shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the first you get to see of him.
Yeah, that whole introduction was just like, okay, that's where you're like, okay, this movie's going to get very awesome very quickly.
It's hokey, but it's oh my god, it's weird because the title itself, Psycho Goreman, or PG for short, this movie is very PG outside of the gore.
It's so
like,
wholesome.
It is. It is very. It's a family movie with evil dead violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that like your parents would sit you down when you're a kid and let you watch, but you had to watch it with them.
Yeah, like it's how do I describe it? It's R-rated because the gore. I don't even know if it's actually what the rating is of this movie.
I got you.
Yeah, I want to say it's R-rated.
I believe it's
definitely
R-rated
is.
because of the gore.
Yeah.
But the movie itself, outside of the gore, is, as the name implies, PG, Psycho Goreman. This movie, they do not swear.
Actually, it's not rated.
So yeah, because I have the DVD, the Blu-ray, and it literally just says rated 18A. So it's like not even given like a, like our U.S. ratings.
I think there's one instance in this entire movie where they actually say fuck, and you barely hear it.
Yeah.
And that's the dad when he's crying because the TV blows up.
Yeah, on Google and on IMDb it says not rated. So nobody knew what to think of this movie.
Yeah, because every bit of swearing in this movie is frig or heck.
Right.
The dad says it, the mom says it, the kids say it, Psycho Goreman says it. Everybody's frig off or frig this or what the heck, but the gore is so over the top. You're like, is this movie trying to be for kids, but is it also not? Like, it's trying to be both, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a movie that would come out in theaters today where it's just like, where you're like, oh, this movie should be R-rated, but it came out at PG-13, so we know it's gonna suck. They're not gonna show a lot. They're not gonna like swear a bunch, and like it's gonna be really lame. So like, it's not like that where it's like, I'm gonna take myself seriously, but I have to be for children. This movie is like, I'm going to take myself and make it look like I'm for children, but I'm also going to be like probably one of the goriest movies you've seen all year.
Right.
So it's like doing the opposite of what movie theaters do of PG-13 movies.
Yeah.
It's giving you what you want.
I wish we had more of. 100%.
There's another movie that people compare it to that I still have to watch, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was like Rocket Boy or something. is like it's very very gory, and it's got like a 80s action adventure thing, and it's in a post-apocalypse world.
I'm looking up Rocket Boy.
Oh,
I mean, I know a boy and his dog.
I'm just a Rocket Boy gory movie on Google. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not called Rocket Boy. It's some movie where I've seen clips of it, and it's just like this kid has like a cannon on his arm, and it's in the post-apocalypse, and he like shoots somebody, and they just like Psycho Goreman effects like hyper explode. Like there's just blood and chunks.
I mean, it sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
It came out the past few years. God, I wish I remember the name of it, because now I'm gonna want to sit here and Google this instead of talking about Psycho Goreman. But Psycho
you talk about
Goreman
Goreman, I'll do some Google searching.
Yeah.
is really, oh my God. So yeah, he comes in. When did the kids find him exactly? That's hazy to me for some reason, because he has the scene where he goes in, he rips the dude's head off, tortures the one, and I'm like, when do they find PG? Does he just stumble back into their backyard? Or that was later when he said, I got lost. Yeah, why am I blanking on this? Do they go into the warehouse and find him? No, they do. Yeah, they go into the warehouse and find him, I think.
I don't remember either. I thought they like dug him up out of the ground.
Yeah,
they dug the gem out.
Yeah, they find a hole.
They got the gem out, and then they went to bed. And that's when he stumbles upon the homeless people that he murders.
Right.
And then I think they woke up, and they went to go play, and they stumbled upon the warehouse, and I think that's where they found him, because then he's like,
right.
You have the gem of Paraxodite, or whatever. Why can't I remember? I literally watched it last night. Part of me is about to like boot this movie up again and be like, what?
Just
What
watch
is
the
this scene?
sound in the back.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna put it on mute, and I'm just gonna fast forward to it.
That movie you were talking about was Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid, yeah, that's it. I don't know why I was thinking Rocket Boy, but it's Turbo Kid.
It's like the same words.
That was an anime.
Nah, there was a movie in 2015.
Yeah, but wasn't it based
You're
on
probably
an anime?
thinking of Astro Boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I have the movie pulled up, and I fast forwarded it. They went back to the hole after they were supposed to, like, after school. They went back to the hole later that night. They seen the claw marks, and they followed footsteps, and the footsteps led them to that warehouse where he was at.
Right.
And that's where they find him. Oh my God, my brain is like completely blanked on that. He comes out, he's like, I am the Archduke of Nightmares. And they're like, that's a dumb name.
Mm-hmm.
And he figures out that she has the gem, and weirdly kind of like lets it slip that like she has the power over him.
Right.
Or she figures it out very quick. And that's where they start like, okay, like we have control over you. Like, who are you? And then they start thinking of a name for him. And that's where the name Psycho Goreman comes from. Because what they call him, like, they're like, what about Psycho Man? And he's like, well, what about Goreman? And then she's like, Psycho Goreman. And he's like, I hate this name. And they're like, shut up, accept it, because we're awful.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. That's this little girl character, is you're gonna like it. And so yeah, they discover this guy, this alien monster thing, and they're just like, we're gonna come back for you in the morning. We're gonna go to sleep. So it cuts to a space scene where there's like a council of aliens who are like, the Archduke of Nightmares is set free. And this is where you get like all the like super cheesy like Power Rangers costume effects.
Right.
And oh my God, there's like the leader is like what I would only describe as like an angel, or was supposed to be an angel, but is like the main villain of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're supposed to be a hero, but yeah, the Templars. And they're just like, oh, we have our alliance, and here's our leader, the angel from the Templars. And she's just like, oh, well, he's free. Who would have guessed the combination to unlock his tomb? And it's like, and I agree, because it's like a 6-digit combination. Like, so what? 999,999 guesses, to get this tomb unlocked, and the little girl does it first try.
Oh yeah.
Because like the way she presses the buttons, it's like at least 6 button presses, and I'm like, in math wise, that's close to 1 million combinations. And you're gonna sit here and like eeny meeny miny mo, and then guess it first try, get the gem, and set him free. And these aliens are just like, who would have guessed the code? It was impossible. Like, statistically, no one should ever have gotten it.
Wouldn't it be funny, like, if it was like, yeah, we did all this to make it super, tricky to hack, and it was like basically like the password is password.
I mean, that sounds like something an intergalactic species would do.
Yeah, it's like that's almost what happened. She just got really lucky and just eeny meeny miny mowed her way through the button presses and guessed. And they're like, wow, first try, sweet, we got a treasure. Like, they're kids, so it's hilarious.
Yeah.
She just has the best luck.
So they have their little space meeting about, oh, he's set free, this sucks, and the code should have been impossible. And then it cuts back to morning, and the kids bring, as in the brother's sister and their friend Alistair, who we meet earlier on for like 5 seconds, who's the brother's best friend. They introduce Alistair to Psycho Goreman while bringing him things to live in the warehouse, such as a small tube TV and reading material, aka the magazine of hunky boys.
Yeah, hunky boys.
Hunky boys.
Let's go back here. Let's go back to that scene with the Council of Aliens. Let's talk about like the scene that happens where randomly, that angel person's there. And this randomly, there's this person that's there too.
Are you talking about the Earth person?
Yeah, the Earth person that's there. That's just randomly there. And just for dramatic effect, they shrink this person down and smash them into this like cube of like human flesh. And then the angel takes his cube of flesh, slams it on a table, and then smears the blood all over her face, like kind of like a dramatic introduction, like, like, oh, I'm gonna be the badass.
That transforms her into the person she just crushed.
Yeah.
So it's already like this angel lady like already sucks. Well, not only is she self-righteous, but she's abducting a human to make the human into a meat cube, to smear the meat cube on herself to become the human. So she's already abducted somebody, killed them, just to get a disguise to go to Earth instead of just showing up.
Yeah.
So that's already yeah, I mean, I suppose so. But it's just like, oh, okay, so this, character clearly does not value, the life of others.
Right.
As, like, not as righteous as they think, or they're too righteous to think that they're like, it's for the greater good. What if, I don't care if one person dies to get my, to get my objective done. Oh, man. Yeah, and I've always wondered, and like part of this is like, how do you see out of the angel costume? Because the horns are part of the eyes.
You probably can't.
That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, this is like a really good outfit, and I've watched this movie enough times to be like, okay, where the mouth is, where in God's name, because the eye holes are like covered, and I'm trying to think, I was like, unless they have some sort of see-through material, then I have no idea, because I cannot see a thing in this costume to where this person could see out of this angel outfit.
Or they have a different way of seeing.
I mean, yeah, unless they have some like augmented glasses built in that's like showing the outside of the outfit,
Yeah, yeah.
Like 2 small screens being like, this is your view.
That seems like way too much. It's probably just like that kind of foam material that like you can like, like the Green Man suits or something like that, where like you can't see like from the outside in, but from the inside out, when it's right against your eyes, you can actually see. It's just like blurry.
Yeah, it's like a mesh.
Yeah, I imagine it's like that. That's just
Yeah,
my
that's
guess.
what I was thinking, but I'm sitting here and I'm staring at it right now, and I'm like, that's some really good mesh, because I can't see where the mesh would start. It looks very solid.
I mean, it could even just be that they staged it so like the actor knew like where to walk and like where to look and all that, but he can't actually see anything.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm like, unless they shot it in weird ways to where, like, if you rewatch it and can tell that, hey, they're not moving in many of these shots, probably because they can't actually see.
You'll have to pay attention next time.
I think there's like probably the most you see this Angel character move is the finale. And even then, I'm
Yeah.
like, is there any direct shots where they're moving, or is it just like background stuff to where you don't have to pay attention that they're very blind? Oh, yeah. So yeah, they take some livable items to Psycho Goreman, and he meets Alistair. And I love the exchange, because this is where they like kind of get the backstory of him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, so what are you, PG? And he's just like, he sighs because he doesn't want to tell him. And then the little girl, the little psycho, demands with the jewel that he tell them the answer. So he's kind of like, okay, whatever, sit down, story time. And he talks about this like amazing backstory, which, by the way, all of the space scenes are
Yeah.
like, as Mike said, the dude's like really good at like visual effects. Every scene in this movie is either hokey Power Rangers or the most hyper CG to where it's not like horrible. It's like the type of hyper CG where you're like, this whole movie is a green screen right now, but I love it.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much going on. There's just colors everywhere. There's laser beams. It's insanity, and it's visually like you're just like, whoa, like this is eye candy. You don't want to look away. You're like, this is so pretty, but Jesus, that budget. Like every time the space scenes come on, I'm like, oh, the budget, I could feel it. It's melting away in their hands.
No, like seriously, if they had a real budget behind this whole thing, like, oh my lord, could you just imagine?
Because mind you, this is like an indie film practically.
Oh yeah. I wonder if I can see what the budget actually was.
I'm probably like 800,000 if I had to guess. And most of that probably went to the costumes and the CG bits, which are amazing. The the backstory of Psycho Goreman.
You were right. The budget was 850,000 Canadian.
Holy shit! I was so close off of a guesstimation.
Only 50,000 of that went to creature effects.
So like
That
the
is
costumes.
interesting. Yeah, only 50 grand. The other 800 grand went to everything else. Damn, impressive, man. Impressive.
So the Psycho Goreman was a slave to the Paladins, and essentially it was like a mining scene where you're like, yeah, they made us like mine this planet, and it sucked, and every time one of us stopped working, they'd abuse us. And he found a gem, the gem of peroxidite or whatever, and that gave him enough power to break out of his slave chains and just become like super powerful and like wipe out the people that were enslaving his planet. But the downside was, which I believe he describes it as, he was so powerful that the gem kind of made an unfulfillable void in his heart that he could not satiate, which was, I have to kill everything. And that's like the curse. So he's like, I could free my people and I could do good, but now I have an insatiable thing to kill everything in the galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of feel bad for him. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's nice that you did a good thing for your people, but now you're like the ultimate evil as the trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole scene of him describing it is like, it's so visually like stunning.
Yeah.
There's just, it's so much going on. Like finding the gem, he puts it in his chest, which was like kind of really weird in a way. It's like he was built for the gem, like it's only made for him.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little weird. I'm like, oh, this gem that's like super powerful and is like lost to the universe. I'm like, was this made for your people, or was this just like a random find?
I wonder if it was like actually like just like his species kind of thing.
Because that's
And,
the
like,
only
they
way I
took it
could
from
think.
him to take away his power kind of thing. Like, you can't have this. You're too dangerous.
Yeah.
Or it could have been one of those things where it might have been just like a random find, but it bonds with certain it bonds with certain beings. So
Because like they found it on his home world.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was like a thing for his people and his people only. But it was so random. I'm just like, oh, okay. Random gem that conveniently fits into your chest. But I'm like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, it was on his home world, so it's probably for his species.
It's like the nature of his planet created it just for their own sake of like evolution.
Yeah. And it's while he's telling this story, the little girl continues to be an asshole and is like spitting out candy and interrupting the story. Which I'm just like, no, stop it, you little sucky ass character. Like, let me listen to Psycho Goreman. But that's where the comedy of it comes into, is like, you want to keep listening, but the character's like, no, because I'm the controller of him, and it would be really funny if I interrupted this amazing piece of like story, because it's comedy, I guess.
Yeah. It's
that's
the
the
weird
joke.
brand that it has in here. It's just like, it's so sarcastic while being so serious.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably like, what the movie wanted to do. Like when it comes to that little girl character, like I feel like it made you want to hate her, even though you really didn't want to hate her.
Yeah, it makes you want to hate her. Like, that's her whole like it's part of her like character arc, which we will get into near the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's she's definitely the character that you go, I'm going into this movie knowing that this, well, maybe not knowing, but like once you watch it a few times, you're like, okay, this character was intentionally written to suck and I was supposed to hate them. And like once you accept that, you can move past it.
Yeah.
Because if you go into this movie going, this character is obnoxious and it makes me hate this movie entirely, then you're missing the point of how the character is written. They're written to be hated.
Yeah, you have to embrace the suck with them.
Yeah. Because it's like, not only do you dislike this character, it's the joke is that everybody dislikes this character. The Psycho Goreman's like, you suck. The brother's like, you suck. Alistair's like, get away from me. The parents are like, where have we gone wrong with this child? Like,
She's just like, I know.
yeah, and
She's just like embracing the fact that everyone hates her.
yeah. And I'm just like, God damn. And there's points where I'm like, you hate her, but there's points where she goes too far, where I'm like, okay, now you just suck.
Yeah.
There's two occasions. Yeah. 3 occasions then, since you said that. I was like, because there's the fry scene, and where she just takes the brother's fries and was just like, get over it, I'm the champion. I was like, I hated that.
Yep. Because that was just mean. Like, what if he really wanted those french fries, man? You don't just pocket someone's fries like that.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then there's the second bit where she jokingly tells Psycho Goreman to kill her brother, and he was going to do it, and she's like, "No, I'm just kidding. You're a scared little baby, haha." I was like, I hated her for that.
Yeah, that one bothered me.
And then there was the end where it was just like pick a team situation where you're just like, okay, I'm team brother right now. I'm not team brother, but it's so weird. They split the likable and dislikable characters into like such even groups where you're like, I'm kind of on both teams, but
but you're not really happy about it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So how would you explain this movie up until the woods scene and the ending? Like, it's just a montage of Psycho Goreman hanging out with the kids mixed with some violent moments.
Yeah, it's like the Farrelly brothers or something. Like, this is just Dumb and Dumber, but like
a giant alien
creature behind him.
Yeah.
So I guess there's like some backstory here. Like the little, like the sister has a crush on Alistair. Alistair wants nothing to do with her. So like they're in the woods, or they're going into the woods at this point. And she's like, I want, make him more cooler.
Oh,
And
no,
then-
this was in the backyard when Psycho Goreman first showed up to the house.
Yeah. And so basically he transforms the Alistair into this giant blob brain thing.
With these
He's
two
like-
giant eyes.
He's like, I've once made the king of blah, blah, blah get seduced by this character in space lore. It was like, would you like me to do the same for Alistair to you? And at first she kind of has a bit of like character development where she's like, no, I don't want you to do anything weird to him because she likes him. But then he walks away and says, I'm going home. And she snaps back to her normal self where she's like, oh, he walked away from me. Yeah, do it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Goreman turns him into that brain with two big eyes that's like partly jelly and has tentacles, and it's Alistair's like just garble, like he makes no sense, but like was weirdly contradicting because later he can telepathically speak English,
Yeah.
which I can't tell if it's telepathically, but I think it is. It's hard to tell because he has no
Right.
mouth.
I thought it was so cute and just this like weird jellyfish-like way.
Yeah, he's just a big brain with eyes and squid tentacles.
And
he's
so it's still like
speaking out.
emoting. You're still feeling what he's feeling, even if you don't understand him.
Yeah.
He's just like watching everything happen. He's just like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, why can't I move?
But to the points to the sister character though, because in no matter what happens, she's like, it's okay, Alistair, I still like you even though you're disgusting, and she kisses him.
It's so sweet.
It is. It just goes to show she's not going for looks, she's going for personality, because even though he's a big disgusting jelly brain monster with tentacles, she's like, you're still cool.
Right.
See, she's still got redeeming qualities.
Yeah. Oh my god, this brain thing. Oh, poor Alistair. We'll have to touch up on that at the end.
Oh my gosh.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Alistair's in and out of this movie at random times as now forever a brain with eyes and tentacles. And the kids take PG at one point to go into like a basketball court, and at this point this is a big montage of a bunch of like dressing him up and blah blah blah. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a side step backwards a little bit. Right before Psycho Goreman shows up to the house, the family is eating dinner. Can we talk about the mom and dad?
Mm,
Please do.
yeah.
Because the dad and Psycho Goreman are easily my favorite two characters.
Oh, the dad is fantastic with him. I would watch a sitcom with just those two hanging out.
So the dad is like, he's a lovable oaf, but he's also a piece of shit. But his lovable oafness surpasses his shittiness.
Yeah.
Like, you don't actively go, wow, this dad character sucks, but it's his actions. Like, his words are like, he's really cool with the kids, he's very nice, he supports them, and he's like, he's a great like dad. But like as a person, they're trying to fill in this hole that's in the backyard where they found Psycho Goreman's grave, and the dad like is voted to fill in the hole even though the kids should be doing it. And the moment he picks up the shovel, he digs up one piece of dirt and then goes, oh, my wrist, oh no, like easily faking it just to like not fill in the hole. And he's generally like I'm gonna sit around and watch TV all day dad, and is just an asshole to his wife, which, to be fair, the wife is not also like a Mary Sue. The wife also kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole family sucks, except for arguably like the little boy.
Yeah, I was about to say the brother is like the only like redeemer of that family. Like the mom's just like angry, which is weirdly understandable because how the dad acts. The dad's like lazy, but he's like, but you kind of like he's a lovable oaf, but yeah, he's a piece of shit in his laziness. So the mom's constantly going at the dad. The dad's like, I don't want to do anything. The sister's just like, I'm the best. Everybody else sucks. Bow before me, overlord of a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, she's like 12, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, then there's Alistair, the normal, friend boy, which is like, he's fine. He's a normal kid, and that's all you can really say of him. And then you got Psycho Goreman, the Archduke of Nightmares, the Eater of all light in the universe, Overlord, destruction of all. Which is now a part of the family, according to the family.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
So yeah, the dad cooked chicken in the microwave, destroyed the microwave, and he just has these moments where every time he says something, and it pauses on him, the camera always slowly zooms in on him. He's like, oh, she ate my chicken, and that's all that really matters. And the mom's like, she didn't eat your chicken, but it cuts back to him and zooms in on him slowly, and he goes, it's all that really matters. And he has those moments where you're like, I don't know, this fucking guy's hilarious. But he's not trying to be. But it's the camera angle, the writing, the delivery, the pause of just nothingness on him. He's a beautiful mistake.
Am I still here?
Yes, you're here.
You are here.
The whole way that this movie is framed too, it's shot so beautifully. So all these little stupid anecdotes just seem like such a big deal, and they're just so in the frame for you, just soak in. It's just the whole movie knows what tone it's going for, even if you don't. And that's what I really love. It's just it just bounces back and forth from this these weird, stupid kind of people, and just how they interact with each other, and then it does just cut back to the hyper fucking violence.
Yeah, hyper CG, hyper violence with physical costumes and sometimes physical blood. Not all the time, but sometimes physical. It's a mix. Oh, so it was after the wood scene was after the playground scene, right? Because the cop was there. Easily one of the best characters.
The bio cop.
Yeah, bio cop. So the kids take Psycho Goreman out to a basketball court in the middle of nowhere, or God knows where. It's whatever, in the town. And they're trying to explain the rules of this game called Crazy Ball. Now, the only thing I could compare, because I told my wife last night, I was like, oh, Anthony has dropped out.
Oh no. We shall pause and get him back.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, yeah, these kids are playing this game called Crazy Ball, which they do in the beginning right before, which is the reason why they dug up Psycho Goreman's grave.
Yeah.
And I was telling my wife last night, I said, you know exactly what this is, and if you watched Always Sunny, you're gonna get the reference if you have ever watched that show and got to this specific episode. But there's a thing in Always Sunny in Philadelphia called Charlie McDennis.
Yes.
Crazy Ball is Charlie McDennis. There's a novel of rules. They don't make much sense, but they weirdly connect, and it is a game of games.
And everyone that's playing it knows exactly what's going on, but nobody watching it has any fucking clue what's happening.
Yes. So I was just like, oh, Crazy Ball is just Charlie McDennis for kids.
Yeah.
And, oh, geez, so they're trying to explain the rules of Crazy Ball to Psycho Goreman, and Alistair is also there. I guess I gotta say that.
Right. This is before he gets transformed.
No, this is after he's transformed, because he's always, he's already a brain at this point.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, this is the basketball court.
Okay.
Yeah, so Psycho Goreman's dressed up in this very casual attire. He's got these weird sunglasses. He's got a fedora thing and a very casual Freddy from Scooby-Doo ascot and blue navy blue shirt on and khakis. So they very much dressed up Psycho Goreman to be as casual could be.
Got the sunglasses and everything.
Oh yeah, it's like
the fucking hat is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a beige hat. It's just like, it's not an eccentric color. It's not all black. It's like this weird, like, beige color.
It's like a sun hat. It's literally like,
It's very
it's almost like
plain.
they try to go for like almost like a Walker Texas Ranger kind of character, but they wanted to keep him more like not so country, but more like, I don't know, like home.
He's in between
homegrown.
country and fancy.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the little neckerchief and everything.
Yeah, he's got the Freddy from Scooby-Doo ascot neckerchief and like the khakis and like the light blue like dress shirt. He's very formal without being formal. He's like in between casual and fancy. And out of nowhere, while they're explaining the rules of the Crazy Ball, out of no reason, there's no lead up, there's no hints. The police just barrel it 80 miles around the corner into the basketball court, like drift in and like pull out guns and start pointing them at Psycho Goreman, screaming, "Get your hands up." Like somebody called the cops and we just didn't see it.
Yeah.
So it's completely out of the blue and it's so like overblown. But it's just like these two cops get out, go up to Psycho Goreman. He takes off his sunglasses and grabs one cop by the hand, infuses his gun to his hand, and melts his flesh, turning him into a mind-controlled ghoul.
Oh my gosh. And that was like, yeah, the goal.
If there, it's because the Amazon's coming out with that Fallout show, like Xbox video game Fallout.
Which I'm stoked for.
If I had to, this cop turns into a ghoul from Fallout, like the feral one.
That is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it. Like, cop's a ghoul from Fallout, except he can't speak English. He only moans in pain.
And he's not naked, right?
Yeah, he's in his cop outfit still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like his flesh is just like, it looks like somebody dipped this man in like I'm gonna say a vat of acid, but like if you took a vat of acid and replaced that with a boiling, scalding water, they dipped him in, left him in there for like 7 seconds, and then pulled him out. Like he's just pus and melt and like my man turned into a BLT.
Yeah, he's almost like a Toxic Avenger, but not quite. It's almost more gross.
It's so weird and it's awesome. So he's now brainwashed to follow the girl and Psycho Goreman around. And he's like, "Here, another competitor for your mindless game." And the little girl's like, "Oh, this sucks." Not because the cop is dead, but it sucks because now she has to explain the entire rule book to the mutant cop ghoul. And in the middle of like starting to explain it again, Brain Alistair is like, "I'm taking off now. I gotta go home," and then he just leaves the scene. The scene is pointless. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't set up anything important. It is all filler because it leads up to nothing. But it is also very amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the most unnecessary necessary thing that we could get.
So I guess off camera, because it cuts, they're in the woods walking. So I guess they played Crazy Ball with the zombie cop, zombie ghoul BLT, and
Yeah, they're best friends now.
yeah, and everyone's following the sister character through the woods. And oh wait, there was foreshadowing before this. I gotta rewind a little bit. We didn't talk about the diner scene. I mean, we touched on it, but we didn't talk about it. So
I
it was
do not
before-
remember the scene.
What?
The diner scene where they're eating the fries and
Yeah. So this was
Psycho
before the
Goreman.
cop.
And that's where Psycho Goreman, he opens up his mouth. He like has his mouth, it like opens up like kind of like
A snake.
a snake, yeah. And he just swallows this whole, like everything whole, like the the fries, the plate, the napkin, like he's just shoving it all in his face. Which
Yeah, and
comes
that's
into
when the
play
brother
in
asks,
later
yeah.
scenes.
That's
Because they
right.
foreshadow it, and the brother's like, "What do you eat at home, PG?" And he's just like, while food is a nice resource of sustenance and energy, we also eat our victims if they're a worthy warrior in battle. It's like if they're worthy of a warrior's death, we eat them whole."
That would be quite a way to go.
Yeah.
And the kid's just like, "That's cool." Like that's it. He goes, "Cool." He thinks it's cool for now until later.
Until he's got to deal with it.
Yeah. So that I had to like cut back to that scene because that's like a big foreshadowing of like we don't want to hit you with the spoiler of this random moment because they do touch on it in the diner scene, and that's what like the fries scene where the psycho Goreman sees the sister abusing the brother and she's done eating her food, so she just takes his food and was like, "You're not allowed to eat, like your food's for the champion," and she eats the rest of his food. And Psycho Goreman's kind of looking at the brother like, "Wow, she treats him like shit."
Yeah, he feels.
He does
Even
feel.
he's just like, this girl's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like he thought that before, but he's like, it's not just to me. She's just a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's noticing how she treats like everyone around her like garbage. And oh my god, so that was the scene that led into the park scene, because right before the park they had to wait till day, so they went home, went to bed, and one of the best dumb, like, I don't know what they were thinking about this, but like they went to sleep after they got home from the diner and the brother had a nightmare.
Yeah.
We're all over the place with this description of this fucking movie.
It's all right.
We're just forgetting scenes, but it's just like there's so many scenes. How do you remember all of this epicness?
Yeah, it really matches the tone of the film anyways, so we're good.
So the brother's having a nightmare. There's zombies coming out of their graves. His bed's in the middle of it. And then Psycho Goreman's there. And he's like, "PG, why are you... where am I? What are you doing to me?" He's like, "This isn't me. This is the darkest parts of your mind. You have crossed into the nightmare realm. This is where I can come and speak with you privately. Take the gem from your sister and give it to me." And he's like, "No, I'm good. You're just going to kill everybody. I'm not stupid."
Yeah, he tries like to plead to the brother because like he knows how the brother is being mistreated, so he kind of uses his way of trying to convince the brother to do this.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, "Do you think she'd grant you the same courtesy if the gem was in your hands?" And the kid's like, "No, of course she wouldn't. She sucks." But he's like, "That's better than giving it to you and then all of us die." And he's just like, "I've taken," or something along the lines of like, "Your loyalty is unbound and I've mistaken your weakness, but you are also very, very dumb." He's like, "You're dumb to let her have it, but I'm glad you don't give up easily," is pretty much.
Yeah.
He's like, "I recognize your worth, but you still suck.
Yeah.
You're still part of this family. You are still a problem."
And then there's that awkward camera shot, which is purposefully awkward, and I love it, where like now that the deal is not happening, the kid's sitting there in his bed in this graveyard with zombies like slowly crawling toward his bed, and he goes, "Oh, so what do we do now though? We're just hanging out here in the nightmare realm." And Psycho Goreman's like, "Oh, we have to wait till your dream passes and you wake up for this to be over." So they're awkwardly sitting there in silence for like 10 extra seconds in frame of no speech, where the zombies are just crawling around and they're like, "This is awkward."
Right.
And that's where it cuts to the park scene where they're playing crazy ball where Charlie McDennis. And so we described that scene, and then it cuts to the woods. And everybody's following this 12-year-old girl, and she's just berating everybody. The ghoul cop hands her a like Valentine's Day heart-shaped card, and she's like, "Thank you, my fucking slave wench, whatever, and she opens it up, and the heart card just says, "Please kill me," in blood.
I love this part.
So upset that it's not a note praising her. She's not upset that he's in pain. She's upset that the Valentine's card wasn't praising her. It was asking for death.
Yeah.
The wrong kind of worship.
And then, like, what makes one of the best parts, which you're absolutely right, is like when she yells at the cop thing and like denies him, like, well, this isn't worshiping me. This note sucks. The cop thing like shoots itself with the gun that's still infused to its hand because the gun's now part of his flesh.
Yeah.
He points it at his neck. He shoots. You see the blood come out, but he just moans and he keeps walking because he's just unkillable. Like, he can't end his own suffering, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And as they walk, this cop ghoul just shoots his gun randomly in random locations.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, yeah, they're just walking, and it's just like you just randomly you just hear the gunshots.
Yeah, and they duck every time the gun shoots, but it's just like, it's just part of his character. It is one of the best. It's why the ghoul cop, like, he has no lines. He just moans and he wants his suffering to end, but he's one of the best characters because he's so sad.
There's so many good extra characters in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single person that comes on screen is memorable in some way. It's amazing.
Oh God. And they come across, the TV scene earlier, very, very beginning, had foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Psycho Goreman contacts his generals through the power of the tube TV, which also bleeds after he uses it, which is amazing. It makes no sense, but it's amazing. And he's like, "My generals, I'm free. Come to Earth and kill these children." And that was like an hour before any of this in the film. So they're walking through the woods. The cop thing wants to die. Blah, blah, blah. And out of nowhere, just the like beams of like shoot down from the sky, and like all 5 of Psycho Goreman's generals appear. And these are like the hokey. This is the most Power Ranger scene out of them all.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because they come down, Psycho Goreman's like, "There's the kids, kill them." And then they laugh at him and go, "You're powerless without the gem. How about we kill you?" And he's about to whoop their ass. And the 12-year-old little monster girl goes, "Oh, Psycho Goreman sent them to kill us." And then makes him, with the power of the gem, stop fighting so he can get his ass brutally handed to him by 5 other alien monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe these monsters.
Oh my god, they are amazing.
All the outfits are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all different and unique in their own ways.
The
Let me
leader
see if
looks
I
like
can
an
find-
orc from Lord of the Rings.
Yup.
The witch is like easily the creepiest one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just has these multiple eyes, the staff, the like overdrawn, like,
It's almost like a baby face.
yeah, it's
Like,
like a
her
baby face.
face.
She's like, if a baby faced alien was like Rita from Power Rangers, that's this like monster. It's really weird. My weirdly favorite, which is like the most minimal of costumes, I like the android with the
android is
parrot.
sick. Yeah.
He's just a gentleman. He's got like the iron mustache and is like,
It's like steampunky, almost like Bioshock Infinity.
yeah, and he's just a steampunk gentleman with a mechanical parrot, and he's always like, and I can't stop looking at him when he's in the scene because he doesn't stop moving. Everybody else will like point and be super animated or just maybe stand still at some points and be like, "Psycho Goreman, we've come for you." But while they're all talking, if you just look behind all of them, you see the mechanical guy. He won't stop doing like a fighting dance pose.
Oh my god, he has like Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, like his legs are constantly moving. He's bobbing back and forth, and he constantly does it. And while they're all talking, he's just in the background doing it, and I can't stop staring at him.
My absolute favorite character of this bunch is Death Trapper, who's just this giant mechanical bucket just filled with dead bodies, and he's just like oozing blood.
Yes.
That's absolutely my favorite.
He's literally like a bronze, like, I don't even say bronze. He was like, maybe he was iron at one point, but he's rusted over. He's just a tank of just bodies. Like, he's a big bucket with hoses. It just hoses that squirt blood.
And it's just like heads and hands just sticking out of this giant vat, and he has a little window in the front where you can just see like these extra heads just like floating in the blood.
I don't understand his anatomy, but I accept it.
Exactly. We love him.
All of these costumes are amazing and definitely worth the $50,000 in their $800,050 whatever budget.
Yeah, because all these costumes arguably look almost just as good as Psycho Goreman's does, even though they're only in it for like this one scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like it's all these costumes get to fight, so you get to see them really in action and just moving around. And it is amazing. But Psycho Goreman's getting the shit kicked out of him by like everybody, because the little girl is just like, if you say you're sorry and you apologize sincerely, I'll let you fight back. And he's like, I'd rather die. And then she's like, okay, cool, peace. And she just walks away, and he's like, wait, no, I didn't mean it. I sincerely apologize to you, little creature. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll take that, I guess. And then like sets him free to whoop all of their asses.
And he just goes ham on them.
He kills them all in like only like a minute, doesn't he? Isn't it super fast?
It's very quick. And if I didn't realize it before, and I've watched this movie like 4 times, I just now realized that when all the bad guys are beating up Psycho Goreman, I noticed that the cop is not on their side. The cop jumps in and starts kicking the shit out of Psycho Goreman too, like the ghoul cop. Because that's how the tank guy dies, the bucket of blood. The cop goes to shoot Psycho Goreman with his gun, and PG grabs the bucket man and like uses it as like an alien human shield. And so the cop ends up shooting the bucket guy, and that's how he dies. He just leaks everywhere and drains. So like the cop just switched sides and started beating the shit out of Psycho Goreman because he's just like, he's so done.
And then he ended up helping him in the end.
Yeah, he ended up helping him, trying to kill him, and then like Psycho Goreman like uses the witch's staff to turn the witch into like just a head. The tank guy gets shot. The one guy, the leader, gets thrown against a tree. We'll come back to him later. And the android guy, I think he dies after the cop, because Psycho Goreman does turn around and impale the cop through his eyes, and he melts. So like he deflates. So like it makes no sense, but he just deflates.
Yeah.
So Ghoul Cop just melts in his own clothing and dies, and you never see him again.
His suffering has finally ended.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's kind of like, he kind of looked like when he was done with him, he looked like the pile of gooey flesh from Scare. The rental tape anthology movie.
Scare
Brad
package?
Chad. Scare package.
Where that one with the melty guy?
Yeah, the one with the melty guy. That's what the cop looked like after.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, listen, this is my side of the goo. If we're gonna be together, your side of the goo is over there. So he melts, and pretty much like everybody's dead. Oh wait, no, I didn't get back. So after he melts the cop, he turns around, he grabs the android, which is like one of the coolest like in your face like shock moments of the movie. He bends him over, and he goes, everybody thinks there's a true evil out there, but the true evil is this. He's like, look into the puddle of water. He's like, what do you see? And it shows a reflection. He goes, I see me. And he goes, Psycho Goreman's like, it gets really deep. He's like, yes, the true evil is within ourselves. Now you will know. And then like a hand from like another universe comes out of the puddle, and in a shock moment rips the android's face off, and it's just eyes and screaming and like gooey black like android flesh. And it's like it happens so fast that it's like this big shock moment that I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was like everybody's deaths were so like tame compared to like they had this whole moment where like the fucking android guy got it one of the worst ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me laugh too, because when they come down and they betray Psycho Goreman, he gives me one of my favorite lines. He's just like, I hired my generals to be the worst of the worst in the galaxy, and this is how you treat me. And I was like, you should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
You literally just said your whole problem. He's like, I hired the most vile scum, and this is how you repay me. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, they are the worst.
I was like, bro, you just answered your question, and I love that writing. Like, come on. So it does turn out that, like, they do make a mention that they did sell him out, and that's how he was defeated by the Archangel and locked away, or I don't know why I called her an Archangel, the Paladin lady.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were the reason why he was defeated, and they reveal that. It's like a throwaway line, but yeah. And now back to the Orc King. He turns into the French fries, let's say. Would you guys like to expand on a warrior's death?
So yeah,
I've been talking.
So it's like the fry scene that happens earlier, where Psycho Goreman opens his mouth like it's a snake. Except this time it expands more, so it's taking up his whole body. And he just swallows up the Orc King whole.
It's very bloody.
Yeah.
It is amazing, and this was the scene where I was like, oh, the kid and the brother during the fries thing, when he describes it, he goes, that's so cool. But now he sees it, and they're traumatized. Both the kids are traumatized. He's like, what you have seen cannot be unseen.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, here's a little permanent trauma for you.
And I just love it, because it's like, he goes, you have fought like a warrior, deserve a warrior's death. And I love that the Orc King guy immediately knows what's going to happen, because as soon as he says it, he goes, no. And then he unhinges his jaw and chest and eats him whole. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh, Micah, would you like to talk about this scene? Because like I know you were excited for this scene. It's amazing.
I just love, it's just so random how it happens, and I just love the amount of violence we just get. Like, I don't know. I really like. I just feel like it's one of the scenes that just defines what the whole movie's like. Like, if you're trying to explain to someone what this movie's really like, just show them this scene. Like, it'd be a little bit of a spoiler, and it's arguably one of the coolest parts, but, like, it really just shows you the entire tone, because it has all the violence, all the sarcasm, the fucking little girl when she holds him prisoner. It's just everything about it is just, like, the beautiful core of just everything that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. But sadly, our boy, Psycho Goreman, got injured in this battle, and he is now bleeding to death.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah. That
sets
up
part.
the final act of the movie. The angel comes down, goes to the police department, figures out that where Psycho Goreman is, which is crazy, because out of all the like places you could have came down and asked anybody, she asked the one only person outside of the family and Alistair who's ever seen him out of everybody in that town. Like, first try, she's like, have you seen this monster? And the other police officer who was with the guy that got transformed and ran away was like, yeah, I seen him. But he's like super traumatized, and it's really hilarious. He's crying, and he's like, oh, he was there, and then he turned into a melty boy.
And then she like takes her hand and puts it on his head. So he's like, give me everything you know. And
like reads his memories.
Sparking, and so I'm assuming like she fried his brain at that point.
Yeah, I think it's implied that she like killed him for the info by reading his mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive overload.
Yeah. Like humans cannot handle like the angel's ability. It's a very cool effect. Like his face like slightly morphed and like, but it was like fast and slow motion. It was like a weird ghosting effect to his face, and his eyes and mouth lit up.
Yeah.
It was very cool. So yeah, the angel knows where to find Psycho Goreman, and I can every scene of this movie, you're probably, I don't know if I've said it a million times, I'm sure I have, but I'm gonna call myself out in this because now I'm gonna say this is one of the best scenes in this movie, but that's me with every scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Is the dad and the mom start fighting. She's like telling him how lazy he is and blah blah blah, and like is on his case. And then he's just taking it, and then it cuts to a scene with him in the bathroom telling off her while she's not there. Like he's practicing his speech to finally stand up to her. And the spark of light just like flutters in, and the dad's like fascinated by it. But then the spark of light turns into a giant like augmented reality Psycho Goreman head that just starts screaming in the dad's face while he's on the toilet.
Yeah.
I need you to come save us! Ah! And the dad's screaming, the head's screaming, the head's also screaming in instructions. And the dad's like, I have no idea where you are. He's like, we are by the ravine at Park Bay, down by the blah blah. Like Psycho Goreman knows all the like locations. Like he's memorized the town at this point. He's like by Highway 11, like 3 red lights passed, and the dad's like, what the fuck? So the dad gets up, pulls up his pants, falls in the bathtub, starts crying. And then he goes, wait, I have no idea where that location is. And then the head pops back up again to scream some more and make the dad scream and give him more instructions while screaming. It's amazing.
Dad there's just cowering the whole time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like he's been, I don't know if you guys noticed, but since he hurt his hand on the shovel, that is the hand he exclusively only uses during the rest of the movie, is the one in bandages, showing that he is not hurt at all.
I don't think I even noticed that.
Yeah,
No.
Every time he high-fives one of the kids or does anything, he uses the hand that's in bandages.
That's fantastic.
And it's like he argues with the wife, and when he argues with her, he takes both of his hands and he slams them on the chair. Like, okay, we're ready to do this. But I'm like, bro, aren't you supposed to be injured? You were the worst faker of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He like eats with that hand at the dinner table. It's wrapped in bandages. That's the one holding the fork. He doing all the work eating.
We just keep getting reminded how big pieces of shit everybody is here.
Yeah. So the dad goes and picks up the kids and Psycho Goreman to drive him back home because he's bleeding out. And like the dad starts having like a realization moment that he is shitty, but just doesn't want to accept that he's shitty, because he asks Psycho Goreman, he goes, PG, am I lazy? While PG's dying in the back of the truck.
PG, why are humans so tired?
Why are we so tired, PG?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Stephen King does blow, looks at the camera. I'm gonna scare you. Psycho Goreman title appears.
And it just shows fucking Death Trapper just spewing blood.
AC/DC starts playing.
That's all you need. AC/DC could play over the trailer of this movie and it would still work.
It would.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's got that same manic energy, but it's definitely going for more of like a Saturday morning cartoon kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my god. So yeah, while they're driving home, the witch is still alive. Mind you, I said he shrunk her into a head. I didn't say he killed her. Her head is rolling on the road, and she says to herself, the witch queen survives another day. Fate smiles on me once more. And then the dad turns a corner and runs her fucking head over like a watermelon.
Yeah.
No, there's no equal setup for that. She's on, which is very, very great, because you're like, oh yeah, she did die. She's just a head, and it's amazing. And then and then the dad turns the corner to like take PG home. They do not mention her because they don't even see her, and the truck just runs her head over and she just pops. They're just like, yeah, you're dead. Fate smiles upon me.
She's so jovial about it.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, I made it. She's like, I will recover. We will overcome this. And nope, the end.
Truck. So, by this point, the angel has the paladin angel has gone to the kid's house and is now with the mother, and the father, the son, the Holy Ghost pull it. The father, the son, the daughter, and Psycho Goreman. They put into the truck, and the angel woman's like, "Get away from them, child! Like that's a fucking he's evil, blah blah blah." But she's not doing a very convincing job at sounding like she's the safest person either. And yeah, the sister is very much like, tells the brother, go out and like beat her up. And Psycho Goreman goes, she'll strike you down without like thinking about it. You will die if you try that. But the sister is like, this is one of her worst moments outside of the whole, hey PG, kill my brother. I'm just kidding, after he's almost gonna kill him. This is her other worst moment where she's literally not joking this time and trying to send her brother to death.
Yeah. Now, before this, we'll touch upon a scene where the angel lady first shows up. The mom and dad, they just had their fight. So, like, the mother interacts with the angel lady. Angel lady deems her worth. So, angel lady pours her, like, this drink.
Oh, yeah, this is right after they pull up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the sun is there.
So they deemed her worthy. So the angel lady deems the mother worthy enough that she drinks his drink and she becomes another one of the Templars.
Yeah, which is like, this is the point where the movie where it makes you pick teams. So the brother goes, no, I'm not gonna beat this lady up. She's literally gonna kill me. You heard PG. And the sister's like, you suck, you're out of the band, you're the worst brother, and just berating him. And he goes, I'm an independent woman and I don't have to take it no more. And then he leaves the truck. So now you got two teams. You got the mom, the angel, and the brother who just joined them because he's sick of the sister shit and the abuse. And then you got the dad who has his daughter's side, and Psycho Goreman, so dad, daughter, and Psycho Goreman. And the dad's like, screw you, Susan. How's this for lazy? And then he takes off in the truck with the sister and Psycho Goreman. So now you got your two teams, which you got likable characters on each side and you got dislikable characters on each side.
Yeah.
So it's hard to choose because you want to side with the brother, but the brother is also with two shitty other characters. But, everyone knows it's outside of the little girl. It's Team Psycho Goreman and Dad.
Yeah.
That's hero team. Even though they're villain team. It makes no sense. The villains are the nicer than the heroes who are just assholes in this movie.
Yeah.
It's just like everyone in this universe sucks.
Yeah.
So you have to sucks.
Yeah, just pick your lesser evil.
Yeah, do you want the one that's a threat, or do you want the ones that are just the quiet behind closed doors kind of fucking threat?
It is, yeah, it's so weird. It's so hard to because you want to side with both. You're the angel sucks, the mom sucks, the brother's cool, the dad sucks, the sister sucks. Psycho Goreman, so far you've not seen him in any light to where you would go, man, he sucks. Because so far he's been the most righteous character out of all of them, even though he's been he tortures people and whatnot.
Yeah, because most of that up to this point was just threats, besides the couple of fights we had and the weird people he has taken out.
Yeah, because it's most of them weirdly deserved it. The criminals.
He's almost neutral.
Yeah, he's very neutral, even though he very much admits that he will kill them if given the chance.
Mm-hmm.
He certainly reminds him enough.
Yeah, I will kill you. I will kill you. I will kill. He just says that over and over again to the
You will
parents.
suffer. It's like if Hellraiser was threatening you, but like you didn't take it serious at all.
Yeah. It's like if Pinhead came and he's just like, these are my Cenobites. And we're gonna, do all this horrible stuff to you. But like, if the configuration box was also like a controlling device and they couldn't do anything to you, that would be Psycho Goreman. You're like, yeah, you got a bunch of threats, but I'm the one with the box, so...
Yep. Who's in control now?
Yeah, even though Hellraiser is not like that, and anyone with that box is immediately fucked. So, yeah, the dad and the sister take Psycho Goreman back to the warehouse from earlier in the movie to try and let him recover and heal. And the dad gives the worst advice in this scene, and it is so funny. Like, this is the big, like, build up before the final showdown of the movie. He's like, can I speak to my daughter, PG, in private? And just like Goreman's dying, and he goes, yes. And the dad goes up to the daughter, and he says, when I was a boy, a strange, creepy man rolled up to me in a truck and asked me if I wanted to see his baseball card collection. I said yes. He goes, you know what happened to me? I got in the back of his van, and you're thinking it's going to go one way, and he goes, and I seen the best and biggest baseball card collection I had ever seen in my life, and it changed me forever, and it was amazing. He's like, so my advice to you is that I put my trust in that creepy weirdo and my life came out fine. You should put your trust in your weird, creepy alien.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is Psycho Goreman's like, I'm dying, give me the gem and I can heal and we can defeat, the angel, the paladin leader. And that's like the pep talk she needs to finally give him the gem. But she don't have the gem no more. Twist. Wow. The brother snagged it. So the brother shows up to the location with the angel and the mom, who's now an angel. And to determine the fate of the universe. Oh, right before that, actually. They have this great scene, which is probably the little girl's best acted scene, is where she goes into the back room to think, and she prays to God. And she's in front of a cross, a cross of Jesus, and goes, dear God, this is an important decision in my life. What should I do? But you're thinking it's about Psycho Goreman and the fate of the universe. But really, she goes, should I pick the spotted glasses or the striped sunglasses? Looks at the cross of Jesus on it, goes, oh, you know what? I was just going to go with this anyway. So why am I even talking to you, God? You're not helping in any of this. And then takes the cross, snaps it on her legs, puts on the sunglasses, and walks out of the room.
Yeah. Just so random.
Is Mike there? He's been very quiet.
I completely forgot this ending, to be honest with you. So I'm listening on and I am very into it, but I literally don't remember anything past this part.
There's a lot of small scenes like that sprinkled throughout this movie. Like I said, there's the diner scene, which is 2 minutes of nothing, but it's foreshadowing of the eating of a warrior's death, and that's the only important line. And it's just the treating the brother bad part is there's so many little scenes. We're at the end of the movie. We did not discuss at all the fact that they have a band and do a whole music video in the middle of this movie. We completely skipped over that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's jump into that.
There's a song called, I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it Frig Off.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Or I'm the Heckin' Best.
Yeah.
And the little girl's the main singer. Psycho Goreman is on drums. The brother is on guitar. And is Alistair there? Does Alistair play an instrument? Is he bass? What the?
I think so, yeah.
But he's supposed to be.
So Brain Alistair is bass. Little girl is singing. Brother is guitar. Psycho Goreman is drums. And they play this whole song with the montage, because we talked about the montage of how they were dressing Psycho Goreman up, but it plays to this song, which the little girl starts singing, "I'm the heckin' best, yeah, 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 frig all the rest, yeah, 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 frig off, like 3 times is like the chorus.
Yeah.
And it is so catchy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just this random montage music scene that it's just like them in a band in a montage and they're having laughs, and it's very 80s feeling with like all the goofs with the family with PG in them.
Alistair's playing keyboard.
Yeah, that's it. Alistair's playing keyboard.
His
There
little
you go.
tentacles are just like bouncing on it.
That was it. Yeah, you're right. And it's we completely like skipped over that scene, but that's a whole thing in this movie. It's like a good 3.5 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah.
But it is it's there. It's in the movie. That's right after PG meets the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so God knows how much time has passed with them where he was there. I would assume like it's been weeks or something, because after that montage, he's pretty much just there and the parents just accept it. Like he's part of the family now.
Yeah, he's like the new dog, except he enslaves some planets.
Yeah. He will not stop until all light is snuffed out.
And he evidently swallows like these soldiers whole. So
Yeah.
you got that little bit of fear in the back of your mind because you're like, he's definitely gonna hurt us one day.
Oh God, it's amazing. So, yeah, skipping all the way back. There's, like I said, this movie is riddled with like pointless scenes, and that like whole cross sunglasses thing was all played up for like a joke of like I said, you think she's talking about PG and the fate of the universe when she's just talking about her glasses, and then goes, "I was gonna pick these glasses anyway. Why am I talking to you, God? Frig off. I'm the best." And then she snaps the cross on her knee and dances out of the room. And that's where the brother and the angel in that walk in.
Yeah.
And to determine the fate of the universe and who gets the gem is they play a game of Charlie McDennis, aka Crazy Ball. The little girl's the little girl has to explain the rules to the angel. And she's just like, this is complete nonsense.
Yeah. Angel's like, well, what do we do with this again? And she's like, well, you should have been paying attention. Too bad.
Yeah.
The lowest of the lows.
Yeah. So what happens when the two balls smack each other again? And they're like, well, you should have been paying attention.
He's like, you made this game up. He's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
So we got the mom, the brother, and the angel versus Psycho Goreman, the dad, and the little girl in a game of Crazy Ball. And it's just a montage of like nonsense to where like they make it is nonsense, but they do make it clear enough to who's winning the game, and it ends up being a tie because they do the thing where at the very beginning of the movie, right before they dig them up, the balls hit in midair, which means whoever can punch, which is a crazy rule. If two balls collide in midair in Crazy Ball, whoever can punch the other person first gets all. I'm surprised I remember this. Gets all the other team's points +1 and automatically win the game.
Yeah, they call it the switcheroo.
Yeah, the switcheroo. I'm surprised I kind of picked up on the rules here. I was like, oh yeah, the balls hit each other. That means they have to. Whoever can land a sucker punch first gets all the other team's points +1 and win.
Yeah, this game's definitely bullshit. I would not play it.
Oh yeah. I'd play Charlie McDennis over Crazy Ball.
Oh, 100%.
Why is Dennis the bad man? I wrote that. Dennis is a bastard man. Dennis is a bastard man. Oh God, Anthony, you gotta go watch Sunny.
Okay.
It's good
16
for a while.
seasons.
It's good for a while.
Yeah. If anything, you gotta at least go watch Charlie McDennis 1 and 2.
Okay.
So yeah, the switcheroo happens. The sucker punching commences. The brother and the sister chart each other, and the sister just gut punches the brother, and they win the game. And they're just like, okay, movie over. They won. Angel's defeated. Nope. The angel says, these rules are nonsense. I'm going to kill Psycho Goreman anyway. And the brother refuses to still give the amulet up even though he lost. And then in a weird character arc, the sister is like nice to him, but like in a really mean way. And in this weird Morse code knocking thing they do, she apologizes in the knocking Morse code to him, and then starts like acoustically singing the song "I'm the Heckin' Best," which makes zero sense in this context because that still makes her an asshole. Slowly, the dad and the brother and Psycho Goreman and everybody starts singing "I'm the Heckin' Best" except for the angel. And that convinces the brother to have a change of heart and give the amulet to her so she could give it to PG so he can win the battle against the angel.
Yeah.
Mind you, the angel was going to kill the little girl, and the mom jumped in and turned back into a human because she got her powers taken away by the angel. So the mom jumped sides at this point.
Yeah.
God, this movie's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It is so hard to like say it in chronological order what the hell happens in this film.
Right.
So yeah, that happens. The Psycho Goreman gets the gem. He defeats the angel. She's like half of her face is like torn off. And
let's talk about the fact that he built a sword using her spine and insides.
Oh yeah, it's like a flesh sword. And he was about to lose too. Like the battle was like neck and neck, but then I forgot. I skipped over Erica, my wife. I skipped over her favorite line in the movie. The angel destroys Psycho Goreman's Hunky Boy magazine.
Oh.
And that's what gives him the strength to give the final blow to the angel with his meat sword. That sounds very pornographic. I promise it's not. There's a Hunky Boy magazine, and that gives him the strength to stab her with his meat sword. No.
It's just a typical night.
Yeah.
So she destroys this magazine, and Psycho Goreman looks down on it, sees it in pieces, and screams, "Not my hunky boys!" And then delivers the final blow. Again, context, the final blow to the angel, defeating her with his meat sword.
Yeah.
Even though he makes a point earlier to say that he does not care for hunky boys.
Yeah. And then he looks back down at the magazine and goes, "Or do I?"
He's like, this means everything to me.
Yeah, he valued that magazine more than those children's lives.
More than anything he's encountered this entire movie. That's the only thing.
He wanted his hunky boys. So the angel's just like, "You've won, kill me, it's over." And then he goes, "No, you are worthy of a warrior's death." And she starts going, "No, don't." And you know what happens. He's already done it in the middle of the movie. A jaw unhinges, chest opens up. He is eating this angel whole while she's still alive. And the parents are like, "What is he doing?" And the kids grab them and turn them away and say, "You don't want to see this. Go, leave."
Yeah.
And it's so like the kids are trying to save the parents from like pure trauma that they've. Oh yeah, I forgot. So the buildup of the joke, the dad has been using his bandaged arm this entire movie that he's been faking an injury with. After they win at Crazy Ball, he high-fives Psycho Goreman, and his entire wrist just breaks in two, and there's just blood and bone.
Yeah.
So now his pretend hurt wrist is now actually like in half, and he's bleeding out, and it's very funny because now he's actually hurt.
He manifested that shit.
Yeah. All out of one high five with Psycho Goreman. That's how powerful Psycho Goreman is. He will high five you, and your arm will snap in two. So forgot about that. So the kids drag the parents out of the warehouse and just standing there like, "Well, we're still a family now, it's whatever." We're all mad, but now we made up. Psycho Goreman walks out, blood all over him because he just ate a fucking like godly being. And he's just like, so I figured out what love is, which is out of nowhere. Psycho Goreman's like, I understand the meaning of love. I don't need the gem anymore because the real power is inside of me. And it's like, it's supposed to be a meaningful message, but then he goes, I'm going to use my newfound power of love to devour the universe, but I will spare your lives. Mm-hmm. So he gives the little girl the gem, figures out that the true power is within, that he apparently knows what love is, even though he completely misunderstands it and is going to use it as a weapon, I guess. And yeah, he says he's going to spare the family's lives, and he leaves through a portal and starts destroying another town, God knows where. And that's their like, goodbye, Psycho Goreman moment. So they drive the dad to the hospital, and I'd say that's the end of the movie, but then there's one final scene. Is you see Psycho Goreman on the news on somebody's TV, and at this point he's a kaiju. He's somehow grown as tall as an Empire State Building, and he's like stomping on towns. And it zooms out of the TV and into a dining room, and it's a guy eating, and there's a woman, and the woman goes, Alistair, it's dinner time. So it's the parents of Alistair, and Mr. fucking Spaghetti Meatball himself rolls on in, and they eat dinner and credits roll. They do not acknowledge the fact that he is a giant brain with tentacles and two big eyeballs. They just accept it. They never scream. They don't go, what happened to her son? He comes to the table, he eats food, and the credits roll over that. They do not acknowledge that their son is a hideous monster.
It's just like that awkward silence the whole time.
Yeah, and that is the end of the movie. I don't know what else to say. What is your opinions?
It was just fucking great. There's just no way around us. No way around it. It's just fucking great.
Yeah, this movie is 100% just an experience, because like nothing can prepare you. Like everything that we've explained, all the buildup we've had, all the comparisons, like they do a good job of at least giving you an idea, but like it's a movie you don't get until you see it, because it's just so cheeky, it's so fun, it's cute to a degree, but then it's fucking disgusting.
I've made it very clear that my bias is that I love this movie.
No, and it's definitely for good reason.
And in some ways, it definitely has that 80s movie vibe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Power Rangers, like, aesthetic, but it's like, the plot is just Billy and Mandy, but instead of the Grim Reaper, it's a giant alien monster, and it's PG because they don't swear, but it's rated R, but it's not rated, but you get what I mean. But it's like R rated for how gory and bloody this movie is.
It's just such a good time from beginning to end. It really is.
It's definitely one of those ones that I'd say, like, if you're hosting like a party, definitely throw it on in the background and let people's minds be blown. Or if you're like one-on-one with a horror fan that's not seen it, who has an open enough mind, be like, I have to show you this movie, and just spread it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Just be like, this movie is great. It's cheesy. It's over the top. It's very violent. But it's like wholesome, but all the characters suck. It's very 50-50. It's everything and nothing.
That's really the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's doing so much while keeping it so simple at the same time.
It's all over the place. It's only like, it's not even 2 hours. I think it's like about an hour 40, hour 50, maybe less.
Yeah, it's 83 minutes, so it's only like an hour and 23.
See, there you go. It's shorter than I thought it was, but yeah, it's just normal movie length, not even a full 90 minutes, and it's a good time.
Absolutely, everybody needs to experience this.
Yes.
I will when my kids are old enough to not freak out at the violence, I would definitely show this to them.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, the movie's PG. They don't swear. There's zero nudity, and it's just blood. There's just so much blood.
You know, it's just like the old Tom and Jerry cartoons, but you know, a little more graphic.
Yeah, but things come out of the characters.
Exactly.
Sometimes things go into the characters, like meat swords. Oh God. Anything to wrap this up with?
I'm spent.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think we said all we need to say.
Yeah. We just gushed over for God knows how long over this movie.
Like, you could listen to this as you watch it, and it would pretty much it wouldn't be in sequence at all, but it would cover everything.
Yeah, this movie is the heckin' best.
Yes.
And if you don't think so, frig off. Oh, and yeah, go watch Psycho Goreman, and remember that the survivors are survivors.
Even to this day.